I haven't been this excited about a device in a long time. Just got my Sonoff Mini. What they've done here is given us what we wanted from the Sonoff Basic a long time ago. And that is the ability to put this in a switch box, connect it to our normal light switch or any other kind of switch we want to use, and have a very inexpensive smart light switch. I'm going to insert a little disclaimer here. I'm about to show you how to update the eWeLink firmware on the Sonoff Mini before you go into DIY mode. But to be clear, you don't have to connect the Sonoff Mini to the eWeLink app in order to use DIY mode. The reason I'm including the method for updating to the eWeLink firmware version 3.3 is because version 3.3 allows you to go into DIY mode and then go back to the eWeLink firmware if you want to. However, if your purpose is to just use Tasmota or ESPeasy or ESPhome or some other third-party firmware, you don't need to start by updating the eWeLink firmware. In fact, you don't have to connect your Sonoff to the eWeLink app at all. If all you want to do is start up in DIY mode and then use their DIY tool software to upload your firmware of choice. But to be complete, I'm going to show you how to update the eWeLink firmware to 3.3. Then I'll show you how to use DIY mode to flash Tasmota or some other firmware. And as a bonus, I'll show you where to solder some wires if you want to just get your FTDI adapter out and flash this sucker the old-fashioned manual way. What more could you ask for? First thing we want to do is update this to 0.33, which is the latest firmware from eWeLink. We power it up. When it does 2 blinks and then a long blink and 2 blinks and long blink, then that should be the quick pairing mode pattern. We're going to put in our Wi-Fi password and then we wait. That was easy. Complete. Added successfully. May take a few minutes. Please wait. Well, that didn't take a few minutes. It's working beautifully. You can toggle the relay with that button if you want. Better idea is to toggle it with these 2 switch pins over here. So this is switch in and out. It's set to work with a latching switch. So when it's held, it stays in that state. Oh. So that's a really nice feature because we've spent a lot of time on the Sonoff Basic trying to make it so we can attach a separate switch that's not the button on the box. They've finally given us 2 very easy to access connections so that we can have an external switch. That's huge. Huge. Thank you. Good job. Let's do what it says here, which is the firmware upgrade. And we have version 3. We want version 3.3, which is the newest. Oh, good. Okay, that was it. That was the message. Done. So now we need to take this thing apart and put the jumper on there for DIY mode. So power it off, pry it open. There he goes. All right, that wasn't so bad. And now you've got those 2 pins looking right at you. You've got this little jumper that it comes with. Put that across those 2, and we're done there. That was easy. Now, before we power it back up, let's set up the Sonoff network because it's got to connect to Sonoff DIY network. So what I've done is create a hotspot on my phone that has the right name. To do that, I had to go to General, About, and make the name of my phone Sonoff DIY. I'll change it back later. But for iPhone, to make the hotspot created with the correct name, that's what I had to do. That's the Wi-Fi password that the DIY mode is going to be looking for. So we're going to turn on the hotspot. Now on my Windows PC, I'm going to see the new DIY hotspot. And I'm going to connect to it. That's that. In addition to having new firmware, they also have a new DIY tool. We're going to download the new version of the tool. Now I've got the jumper on the DIY pins. I have the Sonoff DIY hotspot created. I've got my Windows computer connected to that hotspot, and I've got the DIY tool downloaded. I'm ready to power up the Mini, and it should connect to that Sonoff DIY network right away. All right, little blue flashing. Start up the DIY tool. Windows thinks it's a bad idea to run this software. And there it is. If for some reason you wanted to keep the DIY mode and use this firmware without changing to Tasmota or ESPeasy or something else, you can directly send commands to the Sonoff in DIY mode by using the RESTful API. If you want to know how to do that, on the GitHub page, there's this Sonoff DIY mode protocol doc. And it gives you the information that you need, I think. I've read through this. I can't make much sense of it, but I'm not a programmer. So for somebody who knows what this means and what to do with it, maybe this is fine. And you can use this directly to send commands to the Sonoff and get information from it or whatever. But for me, I can't do anything with this. But it's there if you want it. This is a funny little thing. They changed the name of this firmware flash button to brush machine. If somebody has an idea of what brush machine means or why they would name this firmware update button brush machine, please let me know. I could change the SSID and password, but I don't think I need to. I'm just going to go to brush machine and upload new firmware. You got to select the device even though it's already selected, and then you got to pick the firmware. If you try and just directly upload sonoff.bin, it will not work. It says I can't update it because it's too big. Normally, if we have a restriction with the amount of memory, we can use Sonoff Minimal. That is not the case with this device. Do not try and put Sonoff Minimal on this device. You'll be stuck with no other option but to update the firmware manually. Fortunately, you can use the Sonoff-Basic bin file, and that is small enough to fit. Hey, what do you know? Here's the Sonoff Basic bin file. How convenient. So I'm going to use that one. I should be good to go. Something's happening. There it is. So it's now uploading Sonoff-Basic. Please wait for the device to restart. Do not power off or restart the device, but you may close this window now. Thank you. I'm sure I can close that, and I'm sure I can close that. Device just clicked. I'm going to take that as a restart. Now, since this is a new device with Tasmota, it should show up with a new Wi-Fi, and there it is. We're going to connect to it. Now, we want to connect to 192.168.4.1 in a browser, and that will get us to this page where we can put in our home Wi-Fi name and password. And it will no longer be at 4.1. Okay, it's no longer there anymore. I'm going to do a hard reset. Now, to find this device on my network, I could go to my router, perfectly legitimate way to do it, or you could go to Tasmo admin and just do a new auto scan. And since I put my Wi-Fi SSID and password here, this device should be present on my network now, and Tasmo admin can find it. And here we go. It says it found two devices. I know what one of them is. Right there. Our brand new Sonoff Mini. I'm going to change the name right here to Mini Me. Now let's go to that IP address, 84, and there you have it. So you can leave this as Sonoff Basic, but in order to use these external switch contacts, we need to set GPIO 4 to switch 1. Save that. Now if we simulate a switch press, we get a relay activation. Beautiful. That wasn't too bad at all. Maybe DIY mode and over-the-air flashing is not your thing. Maybe you like soldering and using a USB serial adapter to do flashing the old-fashioned manual way. The only way to get access to the pins that you need for flashing is to open up this box, flip the board over. There's a close-up of these 4 pins that you need. you need RX, you need TX. They're just labeled R and T in this case. You need 3 volts, you need ground, and then you also need GPIO 0. Fortunately, just like the Sonoff Basic, the Mini has the button here on the board connected to GPIO 0. So you can hold that down during flashing. Those are not the easiest pins to connect to, so you gotta be willing to do some soldering. There's no way around it. Through the magic of television, we have one that's already done. Magics! I've got ground soldered here, 3 volts here, then TX and RX. And they are holding on by a thread, but it should be enough. On my FTDI adapter, ground there, skip 1, then 3 volts. That's the way mine's wired. Then the pin here, which is coming from R, goes to T over here, and then R over here goes to T over there. Okay, nothing new there if you've flashed anything like this before. Hold down this button and plug in my adapter. Okay, let go of the button. That should have done it. It's been a while since we got to use old faithful Flash ESP8266.exe, aka Flash Easy. Kind of fun to dig it up again. Start up Flash Easy. Now for the firmware. Since we're doing this manually, we're not restricted to the size like we are when we flash through DIY mode over the air. So we can go ahead and use regular Sonoff bin. This is the newest version of Tasmota. Cross your fingers and hit flash. And we seem to be off to the races. Yes, yes we are. Excellent. So the process is no different. Getting access to RX and TX and ground at 3 volts is not a simple thing, but it's not that terrible. Dab a little solder on there, dab a little solder on the wires, touch the wire, touch the soldering iron. Takes a little bit of practice, a little dexterity, but you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Hold down the button, connect your adapter, start Flash Easy, upload your file. Piece of cake. I don't know that that's easier than doing it over the air though, just because of that soldering. So in this particular case, putting Tasmota on through the OTA method is the easier way to do it. Surprised I'm saying that, but I am. Okay, flash complete. Fantastico. You do need to unplug it and plug it back in. Don't forget to do the important stuff here, like set up your MQTT broker. So Sonoff Basic plus switch 1 on GPIO 4 is what we want. That will now be the place you connect your external switch. There it is. The old-fashioned manual method for flashing the brand new Sonoff Mini. So that's it. The Sonoff Mini DIY mode Tasmotized. What do I like about this? I love the size. It's small enough that it should fit anywhere you want to put it. I also love that they've finally given us a place to connect an external switch that could not be any easier to access. Even though DIY mode still feels a little clunky with setting up the hotspot and all, once you do it a couple times, it's not too bad. And now we know how to flash it manually as well. I wish they could have found a way to squeeze a second relay in here, like the Shelly 2 or the BH Onofre. Other than not having a second relay, there's not much to not like. So what do you think about the Sonoff Mini? I'm super excited about it. I think it's a great improvement. I hope they come up with a 2 relay version someday soon, but until then, I'll definitely be getting some more of these and using them in light switches. That's all for now. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, adios. So, I just realized that the last 2 hours of filming that I've done have been without audio. Very not awesome. If you need help or want to chat with me or others who also enjoy projects like this, you can find us on Facebook and Discord. If you like what I'm doing and you want to support me, you can use my special product links in the video description, or head over to Patreon, or just like and share my videos. That's easy. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, This box will take you to a playlist of some of my favorites. In addition to videos like this, I also do live streams every Sunday. This box will take you to a recording of the latest live stream. That's all for now. Adios.